You're watching Suck Professor. Hello, everybody. It's me, Hank. I'm joined by
James.
James. James, quit ordering baby tigers on eBay. Westworld's starting. Oh fuck! It's a cold open. Okay, go James. My favorite mirror world simulation, James. I'm curious now after watching season 3 Westworld, episode 3. What was this one called? I forgot.
I was just looking that up.
And anyway, we're going to do a review about it. But it provoked a question here about mirror existences and simulation computers. And now I'm wondering what the there's another James out there somewhere in the world, and I want to find him and tell him that I love him.
So the name of the episode is The Absence of Field, which is symbolic of where Dolores is now. She's in a crappy, boring, futuristic city, and she doesn't have her cow pasture. So now she's understanding that she now has an absence of field.
She needs the field.
Yes. If she knows that this is killing the season. This future city stuff. We need less of it.
Okay. I think, James, it's clear where your predilections are here on
Make America episode. Field again.
No. Please, let's not start that. The episode 1 of the season, you had a bit of reaction to because it was future Black Mirror episode Dolores.
It felt like a very boring Terminator.
Okay. And then episode 2 was sort of a comeback. We were back to Westworld.
Yep.
You got to feel the sand in your toes and the syringes in your back of your neck and the robot milky fluid pouring down your chin. That was all nice, and you were but you obviously knew we were going to go back to this modern world here, where we just enjoyed our time in episode 3. But you found it distasteful,
I knew we were going back there, but that doesn't stop me from complaining like a 4-year-old. I live for that.
Well, that's why we
constitutional right to be irrational.
It's not irrational. No, I'm not.
No, it is irrational because this is the city. I mean, this is the setting of the season, basically.
Okay, you're the one making the case. I wasn't even trying to imply it's irrational. I was more implying, I guess, that it's obviously not surprising. Of course, they're going to revisit Jesse Pinkman and Dolores Pinkman, and now they're. So I wasn't trying to imply.
You have to be really crazy to think that his presence in this first episode was just a cameo.
Yeah,
like that's it. You're never supposed to see him again.
Yo, you want some meth? Okay, I cook it in my RV with my calculus teacher. He didn't have a calculus teacher. He was a science.
I bet Dolores can make some great meth.
I bet you could make some great calculus.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that's the ideal woman, huh? Get you all fucked up on drugs and then teach you some math? What is that, the Tiger King?
Oh, God.
So, anyway, no, I wasn't trying to imply that it was like irrational or anything. Because, like, I'm more just asking about the journey that you're on right now. Because you're having some ups and downs here. This is a roller coaster for you. So this season... Are you hoping that we spend more time in the modern Dolores outside world where Rojo Bohem runs the place? Or do you want to get back into Westworld and you want to see some samurai guys in the background and some naked peepees and big bushes? They don't do trim bushes in the West. Mm-hmm. That was a thing. It was a feature. That's why everybody there back then died of lice. And anyway, you want to see more of that? Are you hoping for a blend or tell me?
I think every moment that I don't see Dolores in a black suit with her hair done back and a weird little black clip on her ear, hunched over with a motorcycle helmet on, zipping through a future city, and then firing guns off at people is a moment that I'm happy. I see that and it's like, this is so cliche. This is so boring. This is taking a super complicated, complex, nuanced character with 2 full seasons of immaculate character development and turning her into a freaking stupid Terminator. I don't like it.
Yes, queen. I love it when you get righteous. Fair enough. She dresses up like Darth Vader. I thought that was kind of cool. The goofy little earring thing is kind of distracting. It's not so distracting that it's part of her outfit. Like if you were writing a comic book, you'd be like, oh, okay, she's got the cool motorcycle gear. Now let's put a little extra accessory. But it's distracting because I can't not picture her putting it on in the morning. Like, does she wait? Does she sleep with it maybe? But she had to put it on. Like there's that moment where the and you're like, why is that robot putting on earring? It's but she's got to dress up to fit in with humans. Yeah. So I guess it's fine. Maybe it's a way of adding a little flair. You know, maybe she's got a bad boss like Mike Judge in Office Space.
Yeah, and not to get too far ahead of ourselves.
That's all right.
We do know what her plans are more fleshed out in this episode. We get a tiny little nugget of information that does make her motives seem a little bit more reasonable, I guess, than what we were led to believe up until this point. So there is some development for Dolores, but this entire episode was This episode was much more along the lines of confirming things that we already suspected or knew, and very little answering questions.
Right. This not a lot of plot happened here.
Yeah.
This was more like disparate characters sort of uniting and putting on the same uniform. It's like the tribes are forming, and so we know who. It's like we're watching Survivor, and we're like, oh, those two are starting to hang out. Those two are going to making out. That guy's got a busted leg, so she's going to help him, but they're going to end up having some hanky panky. Hanky panky means sex. So the that's mostly I think what this was like. Okay, so. Just to clarify the overall premise or initial inquiry that you had, or the initial thoughts that you offered. Jeez, I can't talk. Oh yeah, we got to talk about the virus. We'll do it at the end. You are annoyed specifically with the Dolores character, or the whole world, the outside world thing. It just kind of feels very generic and kind of
just what they've done with her.
okay.
It's nowhere. It's not interesting at all to me. Okay. And if Westworld itself had started off like this, I would have never gotten into the show.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I mean, it is a fairly generic kind of future, but I always like sci-fi
some people like
futures.
that kind of stuff. It's just not for me. It's just why I don't, I never played like Deus Ex Machina. That I played like 10 minutes of, and I was like, well, this is boring. I couldn't stand it. Like Future Cityscapes, Cyberpunk that's coming out. People are like, oh my God, Cyberpunk is on The Witcher, Project CD Red, Project. And I'm like, whatever.
Not your thing.
Not my thing.
Yeah, I hear you. Not because it's not some fucking mage blowing up a group of skeletons.
You gotta be an archer. Archers are cool. Mages suck. Screw you and your melee characters are barbarians. Archers are where it's at.
Break. Archers are just mages that cast wooden spells.
How dare you?
That's all archers are. They're mages grounded in the real world. They're distance aggro. Or what do they call it? Inflictors.
Yes, they're ranged characters.
Ranged characters. Distance inflictors.
You could always like point blank someone with an arrow. That'd be pretty awesome.
That would be pretty good. Yeah, that would be good. Slow motion.
Who in the world can say that they played Skyrim and didn't use a bow? I don't think anyone. Everyone uses a bow. How else do you
kill butterflies?
Exactly.
Or those giants. You shoot them in their heads. All right, so the Dolores character has become female Terminator.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It just...
She's pretty badass. She's got a cool motorcycle.
I know.
Wait for some good moves later on.
I don't know. It just, for me, it takes a 3-dimensional character and kind of makes her 1-dimensional.
Fair enough. We'll have more opportunity to talk about it as we go through this now. So we don't need to hit all the beats, because I don't remember them.
Oh, great.
But so we learn about Jesse in this episode. Where did it start? Then?
Well, I mean,
this was about Charlotte.
Yeah, this episode was predominantly about Charlotte. And what we knew about Charlotte before this all happened was that I don't think we ever saw her die in the park. If we did, then that's a complete mistake on my part. Yeah. I don't remember her dying. But it's my understanding that she did. And that, as we know, that this character that escaped from the park was Dolores escaping in Hale's body. When she got to where she was going, she basically printed out a new Dolores body, jumped back into the Dolores body, and now we don't really know who is inhabiting the Hale body. We know that she escaped with multiple pearls, one of which was Bernard, and this episode leads you to believe that the person that is inside Hale's body is having a conflict of identity right now, and that there actually is one scene later on when the person says to another person, I won't give too much away at this point, but says, as she's doing a very violent act on the person, doing this is helping me to remember who I was or who I am. So we know it's a violent person. So in that respect, I don't think it would be Teddy. And people are probably going to yell right now and say, well, obviously it wasn't Teddy because Teddy was up delivering the satellite and then we saw him down there, so his Pearl couldn't be there. I needed to research that. I didn't have time to research it.
Okay.
But as to who it could be, who is eliminated and who it actually could be, that's something I need to do a little bit more digging on. Okay.
Yeah, because this didn't exactly answer that. But we have a theory. Do we want to say that now or not?
Yeah, I mean, I do, but again, it could be completely obliterated by someone who has a better recollection of where this character was at the very end of the last season when we last saw the character. Right. But I was thinking it was...
Armistice.
Maybe, because, I mean, she's violent.
Yeah, and she's kind of a secret... Well, not a secret badass, but she's a... Because part of Charlotte's character arc, at least in this episode, was that she discovered. She remembered more about who she was.
Right.
And it was somebody who is some pretty intense and kind of mean. And that would qualify as Armistice.
And Dolores would need someone who was strong of will to stand up and play the part perfectly to the point where the board of Delos wouldn't know that this isn't Charlotte Hale. So you need a strong, dominating, commanding presence, and Armistice could do that.
Yeah. I don't remember what her fate was in the show, though.
I remember.
I have no memory at all.
Do you remember when they were escaping from the park and she got her arm caught in the door and then had it ripped off and she was like fighting to the very end?
Was that the very end of her?
I am thinking
maybe like one of those water buffaloes ran her over.
I don't know. I mean, I'd like it to be her. I mean, you could go like crazy nuts and say that okay, well maybe Dolores found some way to separate off a part of herself, and that it's a duplicate copy of her, but it's more Wyatt than it is Dolores.
Oh.
But who the heck? I mean, how she would do that, I have no idea.
Yeah.
That's a little bit out there.
That's more than a little bit out there. Mm-hmm. Get out.
Yes.
That's too out there for me. You've got the virus. It makes you people unreasonable. What if that's all that it did? I wish
we'd all be infected.
I feel like we already have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what are the beats of this one though? I don't want to kind of try to start. But so Charlotte Hale is learning about her fucking. I see. I already lost track of it.
Yeah, I mean, she's trying to come to grips with because she
goes home. Do you want that scene? That's kind of in the first third of the movie.
Well, yeah, she's talking to Dolores and she's waking up, but she doesn't know who she is. She's saying, "Who am I? I can't remember who I am."
Well,
looking at her hands, looking in the mirror, and Dolores says, "It's not important who you were. It's who you have to be." And she's going through some turmoil over this.
But she goes to an apartment and a man is there, and it turns out this is like he's it's like her
Jake, I believe the name was.
Oh, I didn't see his name. So yes. Jake is her and she he seems to be like, hey, honey. So this is her husband, and
he's lived there for 8 years, but she has no recollection of who he is. Right. She says, "How did you get in here?" And he immediately knows that something's off.
Something's weird about her.
Yeah, because she doesn't know anything about. We know that the person that's inhabiting Charlotte Hale at least knows who Charlotte Hale was, because when the mirror was put up to her face, she said Charlotte Hale, and she said, "Why do I have to be her? Didn't she try to kill us?" So this is a person who is aware of Charlotte Hale and what happened and what transpired, but doesn't doesn't know enough about her to play her.
And she was sort of like, so she moves in for some nookie, some makeout, some smoochie. You want to make some,
which is exactly what Teddy would do.
Let's make some smooching noises.
You want to
start? You want me to start?
Let's. You can put it in post.
Mwah. Can you do a moi?
That was not post.
How about one moi?
That was current.
James, what's the French word for me? Come on, say it.
For me?
For me. How do you say me in French?
I don't know. I've never spoken
You
French
say
before.
You speak French.
This is a blatant lie.
I'm going to have to access your iPad tablet and update your system.
You didn't say pop.
Damn it, I almost fucking got him there. I almost tricked you into depravity.
Yes.
But anyway, so then but he says, "Oh, let's not wake him up." And she goes, "Who?" And it was obviously, and they didn't reveal that, but it ended up being her son. And so then we have a thing that we get repeated. Oh yeah, so she keeps getting these messages on her phone that are like these staticky, tonal kind of things, right?
Well, but even
sound files,
right? Even before that, when the interaction about who is it? Oh, it's your son. Mm-hmm. He says, "This is who you've always been. I've known this for a long time. You've never been anyone different. You shirk your responsibility. You forget things. The reason I'm here is because once again you forgot to pick up our son."
Yeah.
So that's how she finds out not only does she have a son, but he's oblivious to the fact that she is not even herself, because he gets into his mind that she's just doing the same thing Charlotte Hale always does and forgets the things most important in life.
Yeah. He's like, "You were always like this."
But yeah. So he suspected something was off, but he did not extrapolate anywhere near far enough to know exactly what's going on.
Certainly winning or at least contender for an award for pretty oblivious writing. I mean, no husband is like that bad. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, "Oh, well, you're just like you used to be." Yeah. Not remembering that you have a child.
But she does talk to the kid, and she does everything wrong. The kid knows that something's wrong. And you're like, "You're not my mommy. Yeah. You're doing it wrong. You're taking me in wrong. You're snuggling." Yes, I want old mommy.
Yeah. Old mommy. Which means he wants like an old haggard mommy. Like disgusting skin and... Sorry, old people. I don't mean to make fun of you. I'm on my way there, too. We're all going to be...
Yeah, and then Charlotte looks directly into his eyes and goes, "Updating firmware." "Hello, Sonny."
"Hi there, Sonny.
Is this what you wanted?"
"Time for a smooch."
Yep.
"James, what's French for we?" I mean, Why? All right, I think I messed that one up. Yeah, that scene with the kid was kind of. I think they meant for that to be a little more heartbreaking than it really was. I didn't find it very convincing. I don't know why, but like I get like. I don't know.
Did you know, like,
it's just like now you have a stranger. That's got to be violating some kind of crime.
Violating some kind of crime?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you don't violate crimes. You
No.
You commit crimes. You violate laws. Yeah. She is a person pretending to be a mother, snuggling with a boy who is not her son.
Is this any different than when Bernard constantly had flashbacks of being with his son when he never had a son? It was an Arnold memory, and he was.
Well, if it's an implanted memory, I don't think you should go to jail for somebody making you think you had a cancer. So.
But it's kind of the same thing. It's a false relationship.
I agree, but this is a real mental. Kid, though, right?
We don't know that.
Well, you're right.
Could be hologram kid.
Probably hologram kid.
Yep.
One of these AR children.
Moral of the entire series, never trust a child.
Yeah.
Every child that we've seen in this whole series, there's been something funky with them. The Ford kid whose face opened up into that black bug face.
Oh, yeah. Weird Ford bug
Never
face.
Never trust a kid.
Never trust children. They are all robots intent on your destruction.
Yep. Turn your back on them, they will stab you.
If you're nice to them, though, they'll come to your funeral and bury you when you die. That's why you have children.
Yeah.
All right. So the kid knows something's up because children have good detection for that kind of thing, but he doesn't know that it's like yeah, you're probably just a simulated robot. Maybe Teddy or maybe Armistice. Like it'd be weird if the kid had the theories and stuff.
Yeah.
But the repetition of we keep seeing these tone things on our phone, and I thought that was like because they're robots, they send like hyper fast voicemails. Yeah. Or like a static, it would be the same as speech. Like you don't why would that there's a sophistication to the way that they can process audio. So maybe that's like heavily super like a lot of data in just a little bit of time.
I was thinking about like Bill Gates, where when he was a kid, I think he actually got arrested for this, but he was creating these like boxes or something that simulated the tones that payphones would use to tell whether you've paid or not. It was I'm not technologically savvy enough about phones to know exactly what it was, but he was getting free long distance phone calls by simply playing this tone back into a phone.
Yeah.
And that's just like an early rudimentary form of communication to like old electronics. So that's what I was thinking is like, is this something that's speaking to her on like a lizard brain cognitive level?
Yeah.
That she doesn't exactly understand it, but it's triggering her to do something.
That's what it seemed like.
Yeah.
And so, but we also see sort of different shots of, by the way, Bill Gates, another thing he got arrested for was murdering 4 hookers stole a pack of Mentos from a convenience store that he set on fire. You got arrested for that.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy Bill Gates is. A hooker killer. Is hooker an okay word to use? I don't know. Is it still bad?
I've yet to hear someone scream social outrage over the use of the word hooker. I have never heard anyone. I imagine maybe one day they would, but not today.
Yeah. By the way, I'm sex positive. I think sex work should be legalized and made just like every other guy.
Isn't that what their job is?
In construction, you're using your body to make money.
Well, what do? They stand on the side of the street and they try and solicit and to get people to come in. They try and hook you in. So that's what they do with hooker. Is that a bad term? No.
Fishermen are hookers.
Everybody who tries to sell a product to someone is a hooker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You sell a computer, you're a computer hooker.
You're a computer hooker.
Yeah.
If you
McDonald's, you're a burger hooker.
You're a burger hooker.
Yeah, I mean, it's
you're a burger hooker.
It's very hard to say. Surprisingly hard to say.
Burger hooker. Why is that so funny? That's so stupid. Yeah, exactly. If you work at the Blockbuster Video, you're a hooker.
Well,
you rental out the movie Hook.
You're a ghost hooker at that point because there are no there's one Blockbuster.
But nobody rents anything anymore. There's no.
Yeah. Well, that's what you do. I mean, technically, you're renting hookers.
Well, sure.
So,
but I mean, it's just absurd that prostitution is illegal. It's ridiculous. It's a consenting exchange, right? And
isn't it legal in certain places?
Yeah, in some places it's brothels, but like it's also whatever. We don't need to get into that. I don't know how the hell that came up anyway. All right, so we see different shots of like Charlotte Hale, real Charlotte Hale, recording her final message to Nathan, the son.
Yeah,
right.
But at the beginning of the episode, it shows a clip of that, like, this is for Nathan or something.
Yeah.
We don't know who Nathan is.
Yeah.
Later on, we find out it's her kid.
Yeah.
But even before we get to that point, Charlotte Hale gets a certain message, and we can see that something is unraveling with her because as she's getting stressful news disseminated down to her, she's digging her fingernail into her own skin, causing significant tearage of her skin, something that a normal human being would never in a million years do to themselves without realizing, holy crap, I'm causing grievous injury to myself.
Yeah. Or severe like mental distress.
Yeah. But the first time she does that, she gets news that there is a hostile takeover going on Delos. And what that basically means, and I'm no economist, but I've worked at a company where this almost happened to us. And that was where someone kind of comes in under the radar and starts buying up shares of stock. Now, if one person does that, it's pretty easy to see it happening, and you can take certain measures to prevent them from becoming a controlling stock shareholder.
Okay.
But in this particular case, it was like hundreds of little shell companies all buying little controlling shares. And when you put it all together, suddenly they've lost 38%.
I see.
So they can't go private anymore because someone else has a controlling share in the company. And they don't know who it is. They're saying that we know it's like a black hole or something. I think that is the way they phrased it, that there's this man operating in the shadows and that they don't know that he exists except by the evidence, the inferential evidence around him.
Yes, there's no sign of anything, but like black holes, you can detect it.
Yes, you can infer that they exist by the impact that they have around.
Right.
Basically,
because
that.
If you look at the global economy, there's a $1 trillion hole.
Yes,
I thought that was a little cheesy.
That would make him the richest man in the world.
Goofy to me.
But and it just so happens that when we find out where he is, he lives in a house like 5 blocks down the street in the same city.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello, it's me, the guy from France.
Yeah, so we at the very moment they said that, we immediately both knew, I think, that this was the Serac character that Maeve met in the prior episode.
Well, you're giving me a lot of credit. I forgot about that character. I don't know. I remembered when I heard it, when they said his name, though. So
now, how do you know that this character really cares about what he's doing?
He flosses?
Because Serac is cares backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it means
Whoa,
nothing.
mind blown.
It means absolutely nothing.
Posted on Shower Thoughts on our subreddit. Yeah, Serac. Yeah. Wow. Do you know the Ninja Turtles, that Turtles backwards is, oh, shit. Sell Trut. Dodge. Summer clearance event. James, sell trucks. Okay, that humor did not work. James, all right. So the Charlotte is trying to leave a character or a message to Nathan, and it's always a singing. She's like, I want to sing a song. And so, but we keep thinking we're going to see the end of this video, and she gets a little further along whenever they show it. You are my sunshine. Now you sing.
No.
You are my sunshine.
If I did it, it would be so close to the real thing we get copyright stricken.
You make me happy.
When skies are the greatest color in the world.
When skies are the greatest color in the world.
My favorite color.
Gray is the favorite color?
It is, because it doesn't really take a stance toward black or white.
Yeah.
It's right there in the middle. It's boring. It's mundane. It is perfect.
It's my favorite mood and flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, you're not going to play along with me, I can tell, because you hate fun. Even though it's the end of the world. The virus is going to kill everybody, and you're not even willing to sing with me, your best friend.
There's plenty of time to sing when we're dead.
You're an average friend now. You're my worst friend. It's time to sing when we're dead. So,
well, when you fall to the floor, I'll sing "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor."
I'm going to choke to death in my room, and James is very polite. You're not going to knock on the door until the odor becomes overwhelming, and it's going to be an ugly scene in there. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have a heavy corpse.
And I can sing.
Just push me down the stairs,
song.
And then maybe throw my pillows down first, so that they can have an open casket funeral. But I want it open from just the bottom half, not the top half. I want an erection. Open casket, big
loophole. I'll put your body in backwards.
No.
So they can still see you.
Damn, foiled again.
The coffins don't have directions. There's no sign on the coffin that says this end up.
That's true. Or the word that says fragile.
So do you think that ever happened where someone's grandma was at a thing and they open it and it's just her feet sitting there?
Yeah.
Like, how humiliating.
Yeah.
Then you have to have everyone lift her out and flip her around.
Right. Yeah,
when you flip a body up, you see like all the staples and stuff in the back where they didn't finish sewing her up, because when you present a body in a funeral, it's like you only make picture ready the pieces that people are supposed to see. The rest is just a catastrophe.
Like in 7th grade when you have home economics class and you make a pillow.
Yeah.
It's like a 7th grader's first pillow. Yeah. A drunk 7th grader. Yeah, it's gnarly. And then your grandma has to, someone gets kneed in the face by grandma. And then they ruin her nice and like her fancy funeral clothing.
Yeah.
Because you put on the good stuff.
All right, so let's jump over to the next storyline.
I feel like I should apologize.
No,
The quality of my commentary.
no. Okay, Tunnel, Dolores, Jesse Pinkman, or Caleb Nichols, as we want to call him that. But
they sure said his name a lot, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. He wakes. Okay, we're doing Dolores.
This part makes no sense to me. Take it away.
Have we finished the Charlotte one though? It ends with her sitting at the thing. Or do we want to come back?
Yeah, I mean, we could come back to it at the end when it gets, because that little piece of the end is,
All right, that's the end.
Yeah.
So, all right, Jesse Pinkman and Dolores were canoodling in a tunnel because she was almost dead, and they were strangers, and some cops come by. What? Is that what happens?
Yeah, they're in the ambulance. The paramedics come. He says, I better come with you. You shouldn't be alone. So he volunteers to help her out to the very end. They're shooting down the street in the ambulance, and all of a sudden...
Cool modern ambulance,
Yes.
or like fancy future ambulance, yep.
And then all of a sudden, a cop car comes by and pulls him over, which is really odd.
Before that, though, Jesse Pinkman, what's his name? Caleb starts doing like medicine on her.
Very good point.
And he's like, yo, you guys aren't, but no paramedics are going to let you do anything.
Right, but
they
why?
might let you hold something if they told you, like, hey, hold this on his leg so his snake poison doesn't get out.
This was funny, though.
Why would the paramedics put up with that? That's their work. They're not going to let some guy that does, even if he has skill because he has battle training.
I can explain this.
Oh, all right.
So you did mention something good. He had battle training. So he was probably trained in basic rudimentary first aid. I know people who have been in the service, and you absolutely have to go through that.
That's usually.
So it's horrific, the stories I've heard that you have to do to other people and have other people do to you, because if you freeze up on the field and can't do it, then someone dies. So
war is
very important.
Yeah, war is terrible.
So they're doing things to her. They're connected. There's like, we have a problem. The platelets, there's none. The machine says she's already flatlined because she's not alive, but they don't understand that. So it's funny in this sense, because all of their medical training is basically them responding to what a computer tells them to do. And if the computer tells them to do nothing, they don't know what to do.
Okay.
So they're completely inept.
So that's why they were like...
Yes, that's why they were hands up, like, we can't do anything. We don't know what to do. The computer hasn't given us directions. And he's like, I know what to do because, let me do my thing.
Yeah. Like an automatic bartender, but he knows how to mix it or something. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, okay. That's persuasive.
And he has
that's kind of bullshitty, but it's enough. It's movie persuasive enough for me to be like, all right, yeah, okay.
And he's kind of connected to the underworld in a sense. And I didn't quite pick up on exactly why this was, but he looked at his phone and he knew that the cops outside weren't real cops. He knew that they had been compromised and bought off. So he tells her, if you go with them, they're going to take you and kill you.
He's got that app that assigns him or that he can accept those jobs.
Right.
It's like he's got like a Lyft, like a gig economy.
Yes, it said high value target.
For like finding, like bounty hunter stuff.
Yeah.
Basically. He's got, it's like called Lifed.
So
People
I think
that have had a life.
Right. So I think he knew that she was a high value target because his app was telling him that which means that the other ones coming after him are the same people like him, because they looked at him and said, hey, we've worked together before, which means they're both in the same side of the dark side of the world.
The cops, you mean?
Yeah. They do the same thing he does. They go after people for bounties.
Yeah. Are you saying they identified each other by person, or you're saying they identified each other by their job? Like, oh, we were the same, like you're doing.
I think it's sort of like the Mandalorian. It's like one bounty hunter runs into another bounty hunter, and they're like, hey, how's it going? We know each other.
Want to make out?
Yeah. Oh, you have a tracking fob. I have a tracking fob. We're going after the same person. Oh, yeah. Well,
yeah. Like in the bottom of the Sarlacc pit, Boba Fett.
Yeah, sure.
Met somebody.
So here's where it gets really stupid.
But I just don't recall if he knew those guys. I don't feel like he did.
Well, in
the cops
later on. Well, maybe not the cops, but later on,
that's where,
in the hospital, things are different.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Glad we clarified that, because that would have been in the comments. I can't handle these fucking comments all the time. No, actually, I really appreciate all the nice things everybody says in the comments. You guys are such a great crowd. I feel like Suck Professor audience is like perfect. Never get bigger. If it gets really big, then you just see like guys show up, those people, but like it's great. It's just like, why can't the rest of the internet be as just awesome as everybody who leaves comments in our?
Then it'd be a bigger crowd, and you'd be unhappy.
I know. I want a big enough crowd to make me feel bad when I let them down, but not enough to support.
How many hours I spend after you upload these things, logging into each one of these individual accounts and posting these comments? I work myself to death to do this.
That's the montage of
I gotta pretend to be all these nice people.
I gotta keep Hank alive.
Yeah.
I need him to go on a mission to shoot an old man in the back of the head while he takes a
I've
drink.
got Rehoboam upstairs in an attic, and it's just like churning away and doing all this.
Rehoboam. Okay, so they're in the ambulance. The cops pull him over, and he's like, "Why don't you call the police?" So he goes, "Oh, the police. Oh yeah, well fuck you. We are." He goes, "No, get the street patrol guys here."
The paramedics.
The cops are up to no good because they're bad guys, and
Right.
the paramedics. Yeah.
The paramedics have no idea these aren't cops, but Jesse Pinkman knows that for a fact they are cops.
Yeah,
I mean that they are not cops.
Right. And
So of course they open fire. They hit the paramedics. Jesse Pinkman struggles and fights with one of them, and then
Well, he shoots the one guy through the First, he kills
Yeah.
the one paramedic for trying to call the police, and then the other guy runs behind and he shoots him right through it. I thought that was kind of cool.
Terminator uses a scalpel to kill one of them, and then fires another person. And
The shot of Dolores shooting out of the open
Yeah.
ambulance, and James goes, "Duh."
is so cringeworthy.
James has a really great, like when a dog is just mildly annoyed, and the dog is just like, it's like that you have one of those. It's really fun.
But here's the part that I can't figure out.
All right.
There's many parts in this episode I can't figure out.
How do you get the T-1000 cybernetic
Yes.
organism
Yes, there's that. But
from the future?
so why is it that Dolores was perfectly in adequate health?
Oh, yeah.
They had not done anything to her. All he had done to her was put an oxygen mask on her. He didn't put a stint or whatever. I forget which word he used.
Band-Aid.
He didn't really stop the bleeding. He didn't really touch her. He didn't really do anything. And yet now magically she's up and happy and good and everything's fine. So was she faking it the entire time? Was she faking it in the tunnel just to meet this character, this Caleb Nichols guy? Why, if so, why would she fake it to the point that she would put herself in danger such that she would then have to escape and then put his life in danger while making him a wanted man? None of this makes any sense. Her faking it makes no sense.
Right.
Therefore, one has to infer that she was not faking it. And if she was not faking it, then how did doing absolutely nothing to her in the ambulance miraculously cure her?
Bad writing?
Maybe.
Are you sure he didn't do anything to her? Like maybe
He put the mask on her, but it's like...
Was there one other, like maybe it was as simple as because it's future technology that they just have like a fancy Band-Aid that does all the the regenerative
Yeah, I mean,
stuff?
he was saying, she needs oxygen, she needs blood. And it looks like he made her put like an IV in her or something, but that's not going to bring you back from the brink. I mean...
Yeah.
And I thought that she had like...
she needs 2 cc's of blue crystal, yo.
Yeah, it just... None of that really seemed to pass the BS test.
Right. Yeah, I get you. She did suddenly just get magic healed.
Yeah.
Yeah. When like guys get punched in the face. Like most movies should be someone gets punched in the face and it's like an hour and a half of that guy like dealing with it for like a week or two.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I would be with me. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it was just it's inconvenient for her to be injured. Let's just make her okay now.
It seems to me like riding on the same par as the whole Terminator bullcrap. It's like,
she heals.
Whatever.
Maybe she heals. Maybe,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, what would old Dolores have done? They can get... I mean, they're tougher than humans because they're not humans.
If it was old Dolores, she would have stuck her hand into one of the cops, painted her face with blood, and say, "Look at all the splendor."
Oh yeah, that's splendid.
Yes.
All right. So they kill the cops, right?
Right, and then
they take off.
Yeah, she tells Jesse, and I know his name is Caleb, but I like Jesse. Something is like, what does she say? You need to get out of here or something, that you're a wanted man. Well, no. She says the same thing that Bran says to Theon.
Okay.
And what does she say?
I can't move my legs.
No, you're a good man, Caleb.
Oh, yeah. She can tell he's a good man.
Yeah.
But she's ditching him at that point. But then how do they stay together? Why does that happen?
Well, she loses... I mean, essentially what happens is that they part ways. He knows that he's basically screwed because he's been implicated in all of this kind of stuff. There's eyes and ears all over the place. So what happens is later on in the episode, he's visiting his mother in the hospital. She apparently has dementia, or actually schizophrenia.
Some kind of mental,
yeah, she's got severe cognitive problems where she doesn't even recognize her own son, which sadly happens to a lot of people as they age. She doesn't actually look that old, though.
Right.
So it looks like this is a degenerative thing that started earlier in life for
And
her.
he's not surprised at it either. So he's like, oh, there she goes again.
Right. But as he's leaving the room, he gets stopped by two guys. And these are the two guys that say, hey, how's it going? We worked together before, because these guys are like bounty hunters, the same as he was.
Yeah, I think the first one he didn't, but I think the second one is the one he recognized. The younger, smaller, smarter one.
So he was something like, you know that girlie you were with, she's worth a fortune. If you kind of give us some tips or tell us what you know, we'll cut you in.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to do that.
But right before he got to the hospital, though, he did see a mark on his phone, on his bounty hunter app. He saw him.
Oh, yeah. He was a target. That's how he knew that they were.
He wasn't surprised that they
No.
were there. Yeah.
But I think something along the lines of Dolores asking her virtual assistant where he is and what he was doing, because she was taken aback by him for some reason, that she asks where he is, and it brings up a video feed of him live, which, as you pointed out,
same camera angle as the shot that they used already. I like when they do that. Like you're spending so much money, you can't make something look like a security. I'm a good video editor, but I'm not a movie guy or show like this. Or I'd like to be. That they get paid really well, but you could make it look like a security camera and no problem at all. It's easy to do. I hate when shows do that. Or they'll just put like a red recording blinker in the corner to make it seem like that. But it's like, it's obviously the same camera you're using to shoot the show.
Yeah.
Fucking annoying. It happens all the time too. And I really respect it when they don't do that.
But so she knows he's in trouble, and the virtual assistant says that his life expectancy is taking a nosedive because they're going to kill him. Now, this is the part that I didn't quite pick up on. Maybe you can tell me what this is all about. They look in the inside of his mouth, and on the roof of his mouth, there is electronics or something.
Do they have him in the construction now? Is this where they're dangling over the edge?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he's been captured or kidnapped by these guys. I'm just jumping or bringing us up there. And the classic like construction site where they're going to kill you is such a trope in a lot of ways. But they did at least say, like, it'll look like an accident at your job because he's a construction worker or does that. So
at least construction workers work in the middle of the night.
I appreciated that they at least explained why they chose that location.
But wasn't it dark?
You're right. The timing of the day may be a little weird.
I just wanted to get some last rivets in before the morning.
But if you find a construction worker's body in the morning when like someone's going to come to work at 6 a.m. and find him dead on the ground, you would think he just came there at night and killed himself. I don't know if you'd necessarily think that some goons dragged him up there and threw him off.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, there'd probably be an investigation, but like you'd be like, oh yeah, he was a little bit depressed, maybe, I guess. So I was glad that they at least like explained the scenario. Very small point, doesn't really matter. But yes, the roof of the mouth thing, I did not quite understand. Did they activate? Was it like a military installed thing of some kind?
They implied that it was something that was very expensive, that was worth a lot, that the military would have done, and they poke it with a needle or something,
like
and it causes them to start freaking out, and it allows them to connect him to a tablet, just like a host at Westworld, and they artificially raise his heartbeat with this tablet, which is causing him tremendous amounts of
So that's what sort of seizes him up and kind of like, okay.
And then for some reason, and I don't know why, his worker bot breaks its chains and starts walking up there as if it's coming to help him.
Yeah, Chappie wakes up.
Yeah, but then it just walks and they just kind of push it right off, and then it falls down. He watches it explode in the ground below.
Like you're thinking like this robot buddy of his is going to show up and like kick some butt. I was hoping for some robot Jedi moves.
But he sees it explode, then he has flashbacks to his friend dying in war, and it's like him witnessing the death of a friend, because his only friends now was an inanimate robot, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of describes my life.
Yeah, and so he's basically going to die, and then they're like, where's the girlie? Where's the girlie? And then, of course, Terminator, dun-dun-dun, she's right here, dun-dun-dun. And then Barfest starts all over again.
Well, she dispatches the guys pretty quickly.
Yes.
Right? She shoots them.
So like an efficient robot, she announces her presence before shooting them to give them time to react, because she's that smart.
It's like a classic, like, I'm right here. Where's the girl? He's like, I'm right here. Yeah. Batman does something similar.
Right. But
in one of those Batman films. She's Batman, basically.
Yeah.
So, okay, but you're automatically annoyed by the Terminator moves.
Yes.
All right. Okay. That's fair enough. I was really disappointed that robot didn't do any, but and it just like walked up and then they like moved out of the way and like pushed it off the edge. Yeah. I kind of like that they killed it that easily because I like surprises like that.
I mean,
where
it's
just
a construction robot. It's not designed for combat.
Yeah, but it's got love.
I mean, one thing we didn't mention, and this is going to come back, I'm sure, in a future episode, but the time when Charlotte was getting the information about there being a hostile takeover, she was inspecting this like gigantic, like battle mech.
Battle neck.
Battle mech.
Battle neck. Oh,
Mech. Yes.
I was picturing someone with a huge neck.
No.
Yeah, that's near the beginning where she's looking at look, we got 300 of them. She's like, we'll find something to do. She goes up and touches it though.
So we know, right?
You're not a real psycho unless you walk up and gently stroke.
Like when Mike Pence touches that thing that says "Do not touch" on it.
Yeah, Mike Pence at NASA. Yeah, genius.
But we know it's pretty obvious at this point. The foreshadowing is that Dolores wants to start a revolution. She's going to get control of those 300 giant mechs. They're going to run amok. She's going to use them. It's going to be an all-out bloodbath in the city.
Will there be any lover mechs?
Yes.
Like one will be like who is the Clementine? Clementine gets to be one of the mechs.
Yes.
Yeah. And goes back to work at Westworld. After it's all over. Goes back and works at the saloon as a hooker.
No, well, yeah. They're going to put
oh, I'll take that one. Looks like she could really... And then she comes crashing through because she's 12 feet tall.
They're just going to screw up and accidentally put the horse AI in all the mechs, and they're just going to go... just galloping around the city.
Smashing through wagons with condensed milk cans flying everywhere.
You'll find them laying out in a field, sunning themselves.
So the corporate stuff, the battle mechs, she's kind of moving some pieces around. We learned a little bit about so Dolores and Jesse run off and they go hang out by the ocean.
Well, before that, they go to a diner.
Oh yeah, the diner. What happened there?
So Dolores is enamored by him for one very simple reason, and that is that she has become privy to Rehoboam, as we've seen in the first episode, and she starts revealing to Jesse Pinkman, which I know is Caleb, she starts revealing to him essentially the entire reason of why she's doing what she's doing. And she takes him to a restaurant. And she says, this is your spot, isn't it? You come here every single year. You order exactly this. I'm going to order it for you. And he starts getting paranoid. Like, how do you know this? How do you know this? And she reveals that every single bit of dialogue, everything about a person's personal life, before there was Privacy Act, was cataloged, captured, and put into Rehoboam.
And then she has a printout, like a transcript.
Yeah, she has a transcript of everything. When he was 8 years old, when his mother left him and abandoned him there because she had schizophrenia, which we now know back at the hospital, that's what happened to her. That the conversation with Sarah, the waitress, everything that happened, the fact that he,
strawberry milkshake,
that he threw up all over himself and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And she reveals that there is this artificial data AI Rehoboam that essentially uses algorithms to plot out everything that you can and will ever be and prevents you from doing things that you are not seen to be mathematically viable for. So she showed him his bio, and it was like depression, unstable, kids not approved, or something like that. And that to me seemed a little stupid, because how could an algorithm prevent you from going out and having a kid?
Well,
so that whole thing was a little weak to me.
So Rehoboam is it in? She said that it's like a second world, like a mirror world. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, we hadn't gotten. Eventually, she says what it does and why it's doing what it's doing. But she tells him that
well, like the person. Okay, but like there's just sort of an algorithmic personality profile that they can use to say, we know what this guy's life is going to be, and that's what big data does. I mean, big data is about using disparate data points about your likes and your dislikes and the things you use and the words you use and the things you say, and the more they can gather, the more accurate they can make the picture to create a heat map of the person that they can most guess that you are in order to better sell you stuff and change your political viewpoints and shit like that. It's very scary. I think we need to have major laws regarding data ownership, data who you should get. Fucking Facebook should be sending everybody a cut. There should be a piece of money coming at you, a check every month, because they're making money off of your data.
Right.
Anyway, we need to. This is a challenge for humanity. I'm just getting off on my soapbox here.
But having said that, which is important, why does, connected to that line of thinking, why does Dolores find camaraderie with Caleb?
Oh well, his life is more or less predetermined by a robotic algorithm that is only going to use it for its own systemic purposes. like in a sense, like so she didn't have control. She didn't get to choose her destiny or have any influence over it. And that's the thing that they relate.
Right. So she was saying that they put you in a cage and they put me in a cage. They told me everything that I could ever be and become and what I couldn't do, and they're doing the same thing to you. So in that sense, we're alike.
Yeah.
But what is the one thing that he did that caused her to notice him? The reason that she came to save him.
That he surprised her.
Yes. He did something that was not predicted by the algorithm. He didn't give her up.
Yeah.
She said, any other person in your circumstance in that situation would have given me up, but you did not, and that surprised me.
And she values loyalty.
Yeah.
Like all psychopaths.
And then she reveals at this pier that they're on now, is like, oh yes, we'll predict that in 10 to 12 years you'll come here and kill yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, that's pretty
what?
dark.
No, it's crazy. And then she's like, hey, but don't you come here to think about things sometimes?
And he does it fairly often.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
Which explains his flashbacks of looking down at a dark beach at night and the waves crashing on shore. Right. That's when he's sitting on the dock looking down, contemplating his own mortality.
Yeah. It's sad. That sucks. And he lives in, I don't know what country. They're in America, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's probably got really high co-pays and deductibles and doesn't have great health care.
Mm-hmm.
So we could ameliorate a lot of suicides if we just had a culture that allowed people to get some help when they needed it. But, so they kind of have a common threads there that tie them together, and they're both sort of on the outskirts of society and both have skills to apply. They're both kind of badasses, so I think we're in for some good action coming up, don't you think?
Yeah.
Now they've got Team Dolores and Caleb Boris are going to be a dynamic duo, so they partner up, kind of, right?
Yep. So
that's more or less the end of their story.
So what happens in the scene when we see Charlotte Hale in a car driving along, playing with the tones on her phone that she's been receiving at regular intervals?
Oh, wow. Sure. Well, I know that she figures out the tones are like the musical scale from the song that she's singing to her kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. You make me happy, or something like that.
And we know that it's Ford because Ford says, I will become music.
When skies are good.
It's cheery.
When skies are good. I'm trying to get you to sing. You can't even sing one word?
No.
How about the end of the word? When skies are Hey.
That's Fonzie's thing. Hey.
Man. Your response was funnier than anything I could have come up with. You fucking weirdo. All right, so you're right. Ford did say that you become music.
Right, but I'm not saying that. I think this was Ford. We know it's not Ford.
I know.
But basically, she figures it out. Yeah. And she is able to turn the tones back into a password encryption acceptance or something like that, and makes her phone dial. And she says, I want to meet.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the automatic car does what?
Well, lock down and locks her in and then turns around. And so we take it to Serac. Yeah. Or Cares, as James likes to call him.
And then we see, and of course, the first person we're greeted by after she gets out of the car is Mantis.
Wait, no, it was a blonde lady.
That was Mantis.
Same actor?
That was Mantis, yeah.
I thought she's an Asian woman. Not that Asian women can't be blondes.
I thought she was, yeah.
This was a white blonde lady. This is not even...
Mantis.
Mantis is an Asian actor.
I could have sworn it was Mantis.
No. It was like a hot blonde lady with like a supermodel earring or something. I think. Maybe I'm...
We're going to have to watch that again because I was 100% convinced that this was Mantis.
Well, her have Mantis sitting on your shoulders, touching your head like she does, and turning you into the emotions that she wants.
She's going to lay her eggs in my head just like...
her prehensile vulva comes out and squirts eggs in both of your ears.
Well, that just got a lot more disgusting.
I probably shouldn't have gone with that.
I don't want to hear about her Volvo. I don't care what she wants to drive. It's her business.
It's got high safety recommendations or ratings. It'll get the kids and the soccer gear home from school.
Yep.
All right, great. So she meets Serac and he's like, hello, I'm French.
Yes.
You want to go on a ride? What does he say, though? He's like,
well, so this guy, Serac, does not make it obvious that he is aware that the person that he is speaking to is not the real life flesh and blood Charlotte Hale.
Yeah.
Because he's talking to her about the prior arrangement that he had all the way back to season 1, where that mysterious occurrence had, where the prospector was going out, standing on top of the rock and uploading data to the satellite.
Like the burly bald guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Charlotte Hale's been working on the inside with Serac all this time to get data out of all the guests' information and things. And he even says, I have some of it, but I want all of it. And he reveals that he was able to download some of it But the one thing that he needs is an encryption key. And nobody has the encryption key except for one person, and that's Dolores. And it's in her head. And that's why he has Maeve hunting down Dolores, and that's why he wants for Charlotte to use, she says she needs time to track her down and do it. But he's like, time is a luxury that you have precious little of, or something like that.
Use very little luxury.
Yes, and then he disappears, as all French people can do.
Yes, that's the thing. They don't actually exist, French people. They turn into digital smoke. So where's he broadcasting in from? Is he just, where do you think? Like, just theories? Does he just have some layer, or do you think he's real at all? Maybe he's like Rehoboam came to life. He
could very well be a digital hologram construct of Rehoboam. That would make perfect sense in this context, because it's like, they even like foreshadow it by saying this guy's a ghost. We can only infer of his existence.
He's like dark matter.
Yeah.
Although black hole is the example they use. Those are different things.
So it wouldn't be a shocker to me if it turns out that he wasn't real.
Right. And it's kind of like they want to surprise you. They want to make you think one thing, and turns out he's just some kind of artificial intelligence hooker.
Exactly.
Okay. So I know I'm dumb here. Oh, they put glasses on her. I think that's like augmented reality.
Yeah.
Is that like she couldn't see him without the glasses, maybe?
Probably something like that. Yeah.
But then she sort of seems to be committed to this, right? Or I don't remember. I'm dumb. But like, how does it end then? Like, just with him telling her to go kill or to. So she's scheming with. Do we not know who her allegiances are here?
It's difficult because we don't know exactly. I mean, there was that scene that I mentioned earlier that I didn't elaborate on, where she goes to the school to pick up her kid and finds the quote unquote kid, Tommy, that her kid referred to as saying, "Oh, it's okay that you were late, Mom. Tommy was there and I played with his dog. He's really nice."
It's a man with a dog.
Yeah, it's a grown adult man with a dog who's being very creepy with the kid.
Petting the dog and touching the kid's hand. Don't touch any strange kids' hands unless they're like dying and you got to like pick them out of the train tracks or something.
And the man immediately lies to her saying, "Oh, we just met 15 minutes ago. I'm leaving." She's like, "Actually, no, you didn't, because I've heard stories about you before. You were here the other day, so we're going to have a little chat." Yeah. And that's where she chokes him to death and says things to him saying that he's like, let go, stop. He goes, "No, the harder I squeeze, the more I remember who I was and who I am," which makes me think it's like an Armistice level violent character that's really inside of Charlotte Hale. Yeah. And then she does something really dumb after leaving the dead man on the bench. She's like, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to take your dog," because, it's not like in today's technology, dogs have microchips. So obviously in the future, dogs won't have microchips either. That could be used to track a dog. And, maybe when a man dies and he's been seen with a dog, they might be like, "Hey, where'd his dog go? We might want to track that. Hey, look, it's in Charlotte Hale's apartment. Maybe we want to talk to her. Yeah. Oh, hey, look, her fingerprints are all over his throat.
Oh, hey, look, her blood plasma doesn't exist."
Yeah, or hey, look, we have closed circuit TV cameras everywhere that's watching all this time. It's like, yeah, no one saw that.
Yeah, hey, look, we have a video of the guy walking into that gazebo, and then her, and then him never walking out. But she's the last one to walk out of it or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so that scene was insanely stupid.
It's a little risky to choke a stranger to death in the middle of a park while you're on like a top secret corporate mission from various realities and simulated artificial constructs.
So I can't figure out which is dumber, that scene or the miraculous recovery in the ambulance.
Oh, good question. The only way that scene might not be so dumb is if it turns out there's more to that. Like, was that just there to serve as her wake up, like her kind of like smelling salts that bring her back to her consciousness that was missing?
You're right. She did have like an iPhone charging cable in her thigh.
Wait, what?
That's what she just needed a little extra juice.
Well, that's what I mean. But it was kind of the Armistice emerging, or if that is what it is. But like, that was that the whole purpose of that, or is there more to that character? Like, he'll turn out to be like a guy that spies on him for Rehoboam, and her son is going to be fake or some shit. Like, I don't know. Always looking. I'm never going to be surprised when the show tries to throw curveballs.
Whatever happened to Dolores' ability to turn off her own pain receptors and to walk around with the giant chunks blown out of her chest and all that kind of stuff? Well, she used to do that all the time.
You're thinking of Data, first of all.
But now she doesn't have that ability. She gets shot in the gut and suddenly is like, ooh, I'm in trouble.
I don't know. Maybe she chose to maintain the pain stuff because that's what makes her human. We can't turn off our pain, can we, James?
Sure I can. It's called alcohol.
Yeah, it's called the dispensary. All right. Yeah, okay. I don't know. What do you think is dumber? Dolores' miraculous recovery or
I don't know.
Murdering the pedophile in the park?
I do you think it's a coincidence that the writing seems to have taken a nosedive after D&D made an appearance in the show?
Ooh. You think they've had an influence?
I think they're like a bit of bad code that's gotten into the show, and now it's going to start expanding out.
They've caught the Thronavirus?
Yes, Throna.
The Game of Thronavirus?
Yeah.
From the writer guys of Game of Thrones? Maybe. Yeah. The writing did seem a little cheesy in this one. I got to say, like some of the I'm right here, and like sort of some of the dialogue, it didn't read real strongly. I love sci-fi. It's just like kind of, it's like even shitty sci-fi. I'm like a parent. I'm just like, yeah, but I love him. I just want the best for him, even though he's a fuck up. Whoa.
I mean, if the show had been like this from day one, it'd be like, okay, I accept it. This is what it is. But to go from such immense heights of the first and second seasons down to something like this just kind of borders on unacceptable to me.
Ooh, that's a strong statement. All right. I don't know. I'm still with it. I mean, it's fine.
But,
what else are we going to do? We're lucky enough to be quarantined comfortably.
But maybe I'm missing something and I'm not understanding something, which is entirely possible, in which case, please tell me and I'll reassess my opinion. Yeah.
Oh, we got to clarify a couple things. All right. Anything else you want to add? And then we're going to do a thing real quick.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry. No, it's not. It's okay. I'm not going to catch you, trick you or something.
I'm very easily tricked.
Don't worry. I'm not going to make you accidentally swallow some poison or something like that. James, here, take a sip. No, so someone wanted to know more about the corn under the cheese.
Oh, God, really?
What was that? Your school lunch?
Okay.
This is just a comments from the past, from episode 2.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Was that your school lunches?
Yeah, okay, so what that's all about is...
I think they were kidding, but you might as well go ahead and
No,
I
mean, there's a little story behind this. Is like,
right.
At school cafeteria lunches, you get your little plastic tray of all your stuff. And there's this person that was notorious at lunch who... Let's just say this person liked to walk up and down and eat off of everyone's trays.
A bully.
There wasn't a bully.
The principal.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny. This was a person that people kind of pitied because this person didn't, have a lot of it. Was kind of picked on pretty badly.
All right.
This person was a little bit larger than other people, and we just kind of didn't say anything about it. We're like, okay, fine. You've got a worse hand dealt than we do. We'll just let you have whatever you want. Wow. So I would try, and to this day, this about me, that I eat incredibly fast. It was because of that. That was a practice. I knew that if I didn't eat all my food before this person made their rounds, I wouldn't have anything.
Well, they would take all of your food?
They would take giant chunks of it, yeah. They did it to everyone. It was
not just you.
No, not just me, no.
Okay.
So when we had corn and the little square pizza, I would try and find what's the quickest way I can eat this thing. So my whole method was I would combine foods. If I had mashed potatoes and corn, plop corn and mashed potatoes, plop in my mouth. Pizza, lift up the cheese, throw the corn under it, roll the pizza up like a burrito, bomb, 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 bomb. Done. Corn pizza.
So it's a survival technique.
Yes.
Great. God. Man, you eat so fast. It's so upsetting. And it's because I do micromanage some things. I'm a little bit of a control freak. Makes me a good video editor, but also kind of an asshole. No, but I don't. I want you to take smaller bites.
It's in my programming. It's too
late. There are things called taste buds. And they're a beautifully refined system that has evolved for various reasons, mainly because if food tastes good, you're probably more likely to survive. And that's all evolution cares about, basically. And you're missing out. You have all this. It's like you're bypassing one of the best systems. Do you have a good sense of smell?
No, pretty much none.
Wafting my armpit.
No, I grew up in a house where it was like very, very heavy smokers.
Okay.
And pets everywhere, like dogs and geese and squirrels.
Possums,
yes. So anyone walking into my house, having not lived there or been there, would probably get hit with like a stench that would just like cause them to turn around and run back out.
Okay.
But to me, I lived in that so long that I think it burned out my smell receptors, my olfactory or whatever you want to call it. Because there's a lot. It takes a very, very strong thing for me to smell it.
Okay. Well, I don't know if there are exogenous, is that the right term? Factors that cause someone to lose their sense of smell if you're in a developing household. I can imagine crazier things, so maybe it's possible. But I would bet that it's probably just a genetic disposition. I have a very poor sense of smell myself, and it pays off. When you're near a fart, you know what? Hey, fuck you all. I can't smell it.
And when you do smell it, that's a powerful fart.
Yeah, exactly. You're like a dog that only smells the good cocaine. And by the way, those drug sniffing dogs, I think we should get them treatment instead of putting them to work. They all have a problem.
They do.
It's so rude. But but it also costs too when you can't smell something, because there is something to be said for a nice odor, you know, or smell a girl's hair. Joe Biden has. It's great. Strawberries or whatever the fuck, you know, because they buy soap that has like odors and shit and mixed into it.
Freaks.
Freaks. No, but there's a world of smell that's really beautiful and wonderful, but also like the sensitivity. If your radar dish is stronger, you're going to get the bad and the good.
Yeah.
So you and I, but people who don't have a great sense of smell tend to like spicy foods or stronger odors.
My favorite thing in the world is spicy foods. Like I just had the spiciest Indian food imaginable. I tell them to give me the hottest spice and double it.
Hot spice over here.
Yes.
That's your superstar dance troupe name.
But you know that we're just going to be doing this one day, and then it'll be a horrible gas leak. Neither one of us will smell it. We'll just fall asleep and die.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like a 19-hour video will be uploaded, and it'll just be us. And after like 45 minutes, we'll just stop and just be silent.
Yeah.
Until like gases expel from our bodies, and you're like, "What is that? Oh, they're moving." It's like, no, that's just a rat gnawing through my skull.
Yes. It's just the sounds of our bodies decomposing on the inside, like Jabba the Hutt having heart disease.
Right.
Wait,
And then
no, I meant to say heartburn.
And eventually you'll fall forward and hit the keyboard, which causes it to upload, because that's all it takes to do this.
Yeah.
You just hit one button and it uploads.
Your head just hits the keyboard and then it uploads. So we could do a live. I don't want to do live, though. I say too many things that I would regret. Yeah. All right. So corn and the cheese. And then one more comment. Thanks for hanging in with us, everybody. We know we're going long here, but that's okay. People have said they like to hear this, and they're all bored out of their fucking minds. If you have the luxury to be bored, take a moment and be grateful for the healthcare folks that are working their asses off, taking real risks. It's scary going shopping and having to see the cashier's hands touch your salad dressing bottle. And then you're like, no, I'm going to die of this fucking salad dressing. But then you think the healthcare people are showing up every day, and a lot of them are catching this illness, and it's going to get real scary around in our world here real quick. So be safe, be patient. Not everybody has the information you might have. This is my PSA, James. Do you want to say anything to encourage folks?
I mean, this isn't a very encouraging thing, but I think that it's realistic to say that we're all probably going to get it at some point. It's just important that we don't all get it at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
and it has killed younger people. So just because you're younger doesn't mean that you're not going to get it. Especially not that you can still transmit it as much as any older person.
It's not the kind of joking, laughing matter that it was like 3 months ago. It's real.
Sure. Yeah. And if you're the last, don't be the last person to be persuaded that this is a serious fucking thing, because this is going to cause a lot of death. And man, it's scary. And it's all about government response. So we had the worst possible government response. So we that's what makes it so much worse too. All right, so here's another one, James. This will be interesting. We talked about Stallone in the last one, if you'll recall.
Oh yeah.
He has a different story about how Sylvester Stallone came to the Twins movie with starring Arnold.
Well, I know nothing. I had enough. Okay.
All right.
What he says is probably right then.
Okay, that's fine. Well, then this will be quick. It wasn't Stallone trying to get Arnold to do Twins. He writes. This is Jared B.
Okay.
It was Arnold goading Stallone into doing Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Yes. God dang it, he's right.
Stallone said he felt tricked into doing that movie.
Yes, 100% right. I'm 1,000% wrong. Thank you.
What the fuck happened? So Stallone got tricked.
I had my movie wrong.
Arnold tricked Sylvester Stallone into doing Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Is that the same as Throw Mama from the Train?
No, that's a Billy Crystal movie. Which I love that movie. Danny DeVito, Billy Crystal. Yeah, so this was a really terrible movie, and the running joke was always something like that Arnold created this fake rumor, because Arnold and Stallone have this like long-standing rivalry where they were both like action stars at the same time. And the legend goes that Arnold created this like fake rumor in Hollywood that he was vying for this role. And of course, it got Stallone interested. So Stallone went for it and got it. And then it turns out Arnold had no interest in it. And he was just laughing all the way that he put himself in this horrible, horrible movie.
Okay. So Stallone pretended that he was into Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. And
Schwarzenegger pretended he was.
Schwarzenegger pretended to trick Stallone into going for it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the story. That's the legend in Hollywood. Who the heck knows if it's true or not?
Yeah.
So it seems like the story.
That stupid Italian will think that I am doing the movie.
Yes. So the story.
What a dumb fucking idiot.
Yes, the story was on point. The movie was wrong. I goofed up big time on that one.
Hey, did you hear the rumor that I like Rocky Road ice cream?
Yes.
Turns out I like sherbet.
You sound like Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. Sherbet for me to poop on.
For me to eat in. I just like the idea that Arnold is whatever he expresses interest in, Stallone comes by and takes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you have? It's like, what can I get extra? I'm losing the accent here. Can I get extra orange chicken? Yo, I want the orange chicken. I did not want orange chicken. I wanted mushroom chicken.
Yeah, so Arnold's like, I really want to do my taxes. And Stallone gets up there and goes,
I happen to be a certified public accountant.
Carry the two.
That's funny.
What does this add up to? Yo, Adrian.
Yeah.
Adrian's my CPA.
Adrian.
I can't.
She's a dependent on it.
Yes, I don't do voices.
Yeah. No, you do. You do good voices. You capture the essence, and I can't do that. I'm sometimes I nail it, and sometimes it's just very cringy and bad. But
I fall more to the latter.
Fuck it. We're all gonna die someday, and our YouTube content will be immortal because this is a weird world. 400 years from now, if we make it through the various eras of devastation that will be threatening our species for the next 400 years, there'll be like digital mining. It'll be like, wow, look at you can load up.
Can you imagine like
2020 YouTube? Like, can you imagine hundreds of years of like archaeological, we geologists look at rock layers to like study
like a future museum
time.
where a kid's scrolling through and hits something, and all of a sudden you come out saying something.
Yo, kid, that's my art. I'm losing. I don't feel like I got self-conscious because I got reflective about it. So, all right, well, good. That guy clarified the story about the trick.
Yeah,
that's cool.
He nailed it.
I'm glad he nailed it. I like it when the fans are right and when James is wrong.
100% of the time.
No, come on, no, not at all. You got a great recollection and a nice, easy, affable character that makes it fun to listen to you talk, James.
Okay.
You compliment me.
Your hair smells wonderful.
I don't have any hair.
Your beard.
My beard hair. My quarantine beard.
Yes.
I'm getting I'm turning fat.
I got a little bit of one, but not so much.
Do you ever grow out your hair? Do you want me to help you?
Grow out my hair? Yes.
Your face hair.
No, I just.
Are you not a beard man? You can't.
No, it just. This is about as much as I let it go before I got to get rid of it.
Ah.
It's just the feeling of something on my face doesn't feel great to me.
Yeah. Boy, you'd hate having kittens.
Oh, yeah.
They like to sleep on your face and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, but the quarantine has got me. I'm just growing out my hair. I'm eating fat. I'm just turning into a fat fuck, man. I'm trying to wean myself off carbs here and get back to doing keto and stuff because I feel good when I do that. But man, I've been having fun eating pizza, and I am just turning into a big old piece of shit, man. It's horrible. My pants are getting tight. I feel it every day when I wake up. I stagger to the bathroom. I see the bottom of my belly poking out the bottom of my t-shirt, and I'm just like, Hank, you're just slipping here, dude.
This is how Wall-E starts.
Wall-E? Oh, yeah, I'm like the first one that gets into the...
Well, yeah, because I guess coronavirus keeps everyone quarantined, so we all turn into these like big gelatinous people.
Oh, yeah, kind of. Well, if we're lucky enough to have food. Some people are dealing with this without money, without any food, and I mean, this is going to create a lot of stress for... I always think about how much stress is out there right now. So it was already kind of hard for lots of folks before. Anyway, oh yeah, and the beard and just growing out the hair. All right, sorry, I don't know, I'm just rambling at this point. I am bald, and but the hair on the side grows. And so what's nice about growing it out is it's finally long enough and I can actually feel the wind in it. I felt the wind in my hair for the first time last year because I had a stretch of long hair too. But for virtually almost 20 years, I hadn't felt the wind in my hair. Do you want to blow in my head? Blow in my hair.
I think
blow air on my head. Thanks, James. I feel like a teen girl on her way to prom. All right, cool. Good work. I think we nailed it. Thanks for listening, everybody. James, fucking not a single word was out of place with this one.
Yeah, we didn't make any mistakes this time.
My favorite comments are the ones that are like, these guys are serious. They're not. I'm like, I feel bad though. Like, I get that people want serious analysis, but yeah, I know. It's just sort of not. We just kind of suck at this. It's the correctly named channel.
Yeah.
Not that I should always hide behind that.
Yeah, I mean,
for being terrible.
I consider the fact that we remember to actually press record as a win.
Exactly. You're lucky you're getting this up. All right.
Yeah.
And anyway, we should go. I want to get some food. But all right, everybody. Thanks for stay safe, stay alive. Watch The Tiger King. and watch Avenue 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have James watch those two and report back on them as well, maybe. I really want to hear what you think about Avenue 5. We watch a couple apps, but let's get a pickup after you watch the rest, if you choose to. I don't.
No, I will.
It's not up to me. Good night, everybody. Love you so much. Look in the description for social media links and stuff. Check out my other podcast if you want. You don't have to. It's politics. You'll probably hate it. James.
Delete Facebook, delete Twitter, social media distancing.
Yeah, we need to get rid of phones, and we got to stop at like 96.
That was a good
Before
year.
phones were like, we need to just have phones for talking, and that's it. None of this internet on your phone shit.
I do miss the simpler days.
Too much information for our fucking brains to handle.
Too much potential for the spreading of misinformation. I think is the
talk
problem.
about viruses. No kidding. Right. All right. Well, we'll just go out on a song. Ready? You're gonna sing. I'll start. You are my sunshine. Sing it.
My only moonshine. Oh, I love moonshine.
My only. What lyric? I don't remember.
It's moonshine. You make me happy.
You make me happy.
When skies are afraid.
Are afraid. All right. Bye. Be afraid, everybody. See ya. James! Plug in the microphone! Gotta record our review! Hurry! Charlotte wears glasses now! She wears glasses, James!